Hello, everyone. This is Corey, your friend at Mighty Mushroom. Welcome to my show. It's not really a show, it's more like a hangout. I just kind of talk about some things that I know about, and some other people talk about what they know about. Uh, Sometimes we sell snake oil, but generally, uh, we just talk about what we know and what we like. So, um, yeah. So, hey. Nice to see you. I hope you had a wonderful time in Disney. I saw some of your pictures from Disney with the meat sticks and the other things. I just particularly remember meat sticks, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I like skewers of charred meat. I'm going to go into it here today. I'm going to go into it today with some drafts right now. I'm going to be boring until somebody comes in and talks to me. I'm going to screen share and list drafts. Woohoo! Woohoo! I did a video on Rain Spooner shirts. This is Rain Spooner. This is a nice little bin. I like the word vintage. I don't like VTG. Oh, crap. I just did that by accident. What'd you say? But I can. Oh, yeah. You're fine. You're fine. You dandy. Hopefully you had a really nice time at Disney. Like I said, I saw some pics. I'm slightly distracted. I went up to Centralia today. Well, not Centralia, Olympia. For no reason whatsoever. Just to get out of Portland for a second, take the kids to the Children's Museum in Olympia. I wonder if I can get a better. Ooh, that's better. That pops. Ugh. So this is a crazy little Rain Spooner airplane. Let's see. Fighter. Like button up. I just like use the word shirt in a shirt listing. Vintage Rain Spooner full shirt. Fighter plane. Gosh dang it. 100% cotton. Sometimes third-party listers are awesome, and sometimes they're not when it comes to making titles. I have to have a talk. I have to have a talking to, and this annoys me. Why? 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 Fixed price 7 days. It's supposed to be good till canceled. It's not. On these kind of stuff, I think this for sure is probably worth more than $40. Probably is. Fighter pilot design's pretty cool. I haven't gone out there and looked exactly for it, but I think I'm gonna give a good price on it because I got a good price on it. So I think we'll ask for $34.99 on it. And we will allow best offers. Good, it's finally automatically selected. That's amazing. On to the next one. It's probably another shirt. Oh, let's see. Phil Edwards by Rain Spooner. I've been finding a lot of Rain Spooner stuff. This one is, I really like this one. I don't even remember finding this one. Just weirdest tiki shirts. This one's in great condition. I don't know how many Phil Edwards. There's a bunch of designers that design for the company, and this guy's one of them. Put Tiki Aloha. Button up casual. I don't like that either. Tiki Aloha floral. button. That's kind of important because of the style of the shirt. And I need to see something here. Sorry, guys. Oh, this is not working right. Spooners. Where you got those spooners? Dennis, I get Rain Spooner shirts at estate sales. I get them from garage sales sometimes. I get them at Goodwills. For some reason, they've been popping up in a local Goodwill, and they just keep popping up. And I've found 2 or 3 dozen of them in the last couple of weeks. And I really can't explain it, but I just keep finding them. They just keep popping up in front of me. I know these prices are low for Rain Spooner shirts, but sometimes I like to list some of them. You should, Dennis, you should check out my eBay store, A Mighty Mushroom, and check out all the Jams World and Rain Spooner stuff I have in there. I have some really, really amazing stuff. I went to an estate sale of this guy who collected just Aloha shirts for a really long time, and I bought like 100 shirts from the dude. I didn't buy 100. I bought like 100. That's a total fabrication. I did not buy 100 shirts. I bought like 57 or something. But they were all Jams World, Rain Spooner, Fred, all those crazy names. This one has a slight tear on the inside sleeve. Somebody returned this jacket, and it was in great condition, and then I think that they tore it and they sent it back to me, but really sucked. This is like a really cool BCBG jacket. Still worth that price, even with the tiny tear. I offer returns or whatever, but it's really annoying when somebody breaks something and returns it. I'd rather somebody just return it just because they didn't want it, you know. But it's a cool jacket, so we'll relist it. Bloody blue. All right. Let's check this out. I don't know. Sometimes I just buy stupid crap because it looks cool. Look how dumb this is. Why would I even buy this? It's a putter that's laser engraved Diet Pepsi, and it's got the Diet Pepsi logo. You got the right one, baby. Uh-huh. God. What am I thinking when I buy some of this stuff? Vintage Celebrity Gold Diet Pepsi putter. It doesn't even have a... I don't think there was a brand name on this thing. It's just a dumb generic putter. I don't know. What do you think I should ask for a dumb generic? I don't even want to change any of the words because I'm disgusted by the fact that I purchased this. Yeah, you got to be there. People, you're going to see my prediction for spring, summer fashion for men is like you're going to see the Hawaiian shirt explode. It's just coming up right now. And if you have them, it's going to be a huge fashion thingy bopper, whatever you call that, a trend. Check that out. StarCraft. Anybody know about video games? Kayla knows about video games. I don't know. I don't know much about video games, really. This is StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty. This is a really cool bag because this little horn-shaped thing is like embroidered. That's why I bought the bag. The inside is like has all this cool stuff in it, you see. It's got the StarCraft 2 on there. It's a really cool bag. It's got all the little accoutrements on it. Yeah, I like this bag. Here's your messenger laptop bag. I don't know if I saw it. Yeah, okay. Razer is the company, right, that makes the keyboards. I think that's their logo, Razer. These are keyboards, right? So, I don't know. Some of this stuff, I'm not going to go on hard comps for it. I think, like, you got to kind of understand what it can sell for in a certain way. So, I mean, they probably go for more than that, and maybe they go for less than that. But I'm going to go what I think would be in the middle of what I would expect to get for something like this. It's in really good condition. Day after day, people. Good after day, people. Hey, Stephanie, what's up? After day, people are like vampires. That's good. This is like I just had a discussion with one of the listers about turning autocorrect off or whatever and getting things right because there were just so many typos last time. I was about to lose my mind. So this is Polar. It's made here in Portland, or it used to be. Now it's made in China. Not a huge fan of this company. I'm not a huge fan of companies that pretend to be from where I am and like have their stuff made in China. There's a couple others I'd call out. See that? Why does it say made in China right there? You know, when it's like totally espousing to be from here on this patch. Let's look at this patch. What does this patch say? Portland, Oregon, Northwest USA. Well, that's just where you sell it. Like, why don't you make it here? Why don't you do something for the economy? Anyway, I challenge companies like Polar to actually do something like that. But they don't have to. Their own thing, I guess. Their companies. I wouldn't buy one of their products on the primary market, honestly. But that's just me. This is on the secondary market. It's a cool bucket-shaped bag. Nice design. Gotta make sure that this is right. So I don't buy stuff from companies that make stuff in China and bring it over here and all that stuff. It's not. I don't have a problem with stuff that's made in China. But when people like pretend to be from here and they like move their stuff over there just to like make extra money, like extra billions of dollars, I don't buy it. Like I sell Nike stuff, but it's all post-consumer, and that's kind of why. Oh, shoot, what's up? There's the link if anybody wants to come in. Oh, resell to 100K, yeah. Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, I'm glad I could help you with the Nike stuff. I'm not a Nike expert, but I know a little bit of stuff, you know? I know a little bit of stuff. I would sell new stuff from any company who's sold stuff in the United States. I mean, my reputation on eBay is astounding, and I really care about customers and customer service. I don't like the retail environment, but I would distribute for almost any company that made stuff in the United States. Obviously, that was ethically made and had something to do with what I do. But nobody's knocking my door down to do that. But what can you do? I just don't like. I don't like when companies pretend to be from somewhere because it's not. It's not honest. It isn't honest. And I don't like things that aren't honest because I think that there's plenty of honest things in the world. I think it's easy enough to be honest. So try not to associate myself with brands that are not honest. So I probably shouldn't have even bought that, but I thought it was cool. So I did. I guess that's what other people do too. I'm not above anybody. I just don't. Ugh. There's a company that just opened up here in Portland on Division Street, and I went to a little party that they had for their company. And actually, I was just kind of disgusted by them. They had all their stuff like made in Bangladesh, which is like one of the poorest countries in the world, and they were all like really rich, kind of. I don't know. I just found them so distasteful. Just generally distasteful, and I don't want to make anybody else seem that way or anything because I don't know the other people who have any other companies. But God, building your company on the backs of people who are like basically helpless is pretty messed up, I think. I have no idea what this tennis racket is worth. It's a Tie Fire. I know it's really sad conditions, and you know, it's not making them any. I mean, they have the jobs or whatever, but the jobs are still slave wage jobs, so it's not really any better for anybody. I don't think. You know, there's no. The caste system is so strong in other places. We have the privilege of being like, you know, we live in a country that's in the height of its world dominance or whatever it is. I don't even know. But we have the ability to take basically mud here and turn it into gold. So I'm really not trying to preach. I'm just trying to list stuff on eBay. Honestly, I'm just a normal guy who loves to do what he does and has been fighting it out to like make this my lifestyle for a long time, in opposition to common sense and other things. And I'm finally at a place where things are really good and things are moving forward. And it was because I stopped taking other people's advice who weren't successful. I used to take the advice of people who weren't successful. And once I stopped doing that, and like I looked to see like, oh, stop taking other people's advice. Who's doing that? Successful. Oh, it's Nicole State. Oh, where'd she go? I'm like, who's doing that? I think I just saw Nicole State pop into the channel here.
Sophie.
Hi.
Oh, hi guys.
Oh, let me stop screen sharing here. I was drafting stuff for eBay. Hi there. How are you? I was drafting. Oh, you can't. She can't hear me, I don't think. Can you hear me?
Okay, sorry. I was having like huge technical difficulties.
Hi there.
Hi. My dog won't stop barking either.
How is life?
It's super good. How are you?
I am wonderful. Life is really, really good for me too.
Good. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for hosting these.
Yeah, I'm just trying to talk to people who want somebody to listen. I'm a really good listener.
Well, that's nice. I like to talk.
Awesome. What's been going on? Tell us what's new.
I don't know. Life is crazy for me right now, actually.
I can see that. I mean, we don't like, even though we live very close to each other, we've never sat in the same room, and I haven't had a social media presence that long, and I haven't really honestly been following you for a super long time, but I've really seen you explode. It's been crazy. And it's from an outsider's perspective, and I'm like, whoa, she's been working hard and things are happening.
I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've been working really hard, but like at the same time, I feel like I'm not getting the growth that I want to get. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
What do you mean? I mean, how much growth can you actually expect? Do you look at other like markets? Like, imagine if you put all that money in the stock market.
I don't know. I just have like all these really stressful things happening. And so like I did my books. Maybe you can walk me through this. I did my books, right? And like if you look at the graph, it's literally just like straight. Like it doesn't like curve at all, like up or down.
Are there parts of the graph that do curve, or
no? It's like literally almost a straight line.
For the last year?
Yeah.
Okay. So but you when did you start to make this pivot into promoting the crate model and getting ready to like pivot into that model, at least partially? Because that could have a lot to do with it, right? I mean,
and it does. Like, you're right, because like, okay, but like with the crate model, if you look at like, so if you look at States Place as a whole, which I do in general, so there's a lot of eco streams. Like States Place as a whole includes like social media. It includes crates now. It includes eBay, like any income stream coming in as a whole, right? And so like if you look and you see where the States crates came in, like I did all these crazy numbers, but it just stayed flat, you know, because my eBay numbers dropped at the same time.
And do you think that's okay? So I think all businesses have like funnels, right? They have these funnels, and the death pile is just the funnel of the person who doesn't have the next thing that piles up, right? So things are money and product and time and expenses are passing through your business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you buy a shitload of shirts, and the shirts come in and they're in a pile because you haven't listed them. Now you pay somebody to list them, but now you're still sitting there and you have to price them and put them live. So then they sit there, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you've moved some funnels and you haven't like logistically figured out how to siphon that, you know.
Yes, and it drives me nuts because I have like, if you look, okay, not all my graphs are the same, but like my profit graph is the same, right? Which isn't great.
That's why I asked that question. But your profit graph is going to stay the same because you have to, like, your initial expenses to get into any new.
Oh, it's so much. Yeah, it's so much money.
But if you did that and kept your profit the same, you actually, your future is going to be awesome because
Should I win? Because I feel like I'm at a loss. I feel like, wait, hold on, because I made all this extra money, but my profit is literally the same as it has been all year.
So, I mean, there's a couple of things I could tell you, but I don't think you're in the crate thing long enough to say. I mean, I don't want to say this on the air, on the internet, as to everyone in the world, but maybe it's not as profitable as it seems initially, and that's just conjecture.
Well, I think that it's profitable, but the problem is that eBay is now not as profitable.
So, so you could fork them into two divisions of a company that you still run because you're a boss, right? So it's just funnels. The funnels have kind of moved. Like, you're still going to the bins to find stuff, you know? And it's like, is that the best use of your time still at this point? Is it something you have to still do? Is there a way that you can, you know, shift those funnels in a different way? I mean, time is part of that funnel system, right?
Yeah, it's hard. You're right. Like, and I know everything you're saying is right. This is a good talk. This is a good pep talk. Let's make this all about Nicole. Sorry, Kayla. Hi, Kayla.
Hi, Kayla. Kayla.
Hi.
Disney.
I am.
Back from a vacation. We've been working, you see.
I was working while I was on vacation. Not too much, though.
No? Did you have a great time?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so much fun. I'm really glad to be home, though, because it was just, I mean, 5 days of vacation is a lot. It's a lot.
Oh my God, the world could have ended. And then what would you have done?
I think after the third day of vacation, it's always like, why do I have any more days? Like, I'm done.
That's exactly what it was. Day 4 felt like it should have been the last day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we should have been actively going home on day 4. And then there was like a whole other day. I mean, I'm not complaining. It was great, and Hazel had a great time, but it was just the last couple of days of vacation usually feel like work. Like, you're actively, like, at least with a kid.
Yeah, I mean, the way that we're invested into what we do, or I don't even know what the right word is, it's like, if you're not there, kind of like
babysitting it.
Yeah, it kind of becomes part of you, you know, in a certain way. And yeah, exactly what you're saying. It's, for me, 3 days, I'm totally comfortable with 3 days. I'm good. The 4th day is like,
what is that? Like, why is this? That's true for me too. Like, what is that?
Because we love what we do.
I love what I do.
That's exactly why.
Yeah.
Because we wake up in the morning and we're like, I get to work today. And when we don't have that for an extended period of time, we're like, I don't get to work today.
I don't even think about it that way. I'm like, I get to build my net worth and future net worth today.
Well, I think that's the deeper meaning of it, right? Like, if you want to really extract it out, it's, I don't get to work today. But then there's the deeper, that goes deeper, where it's like, I get to build my empire today.
Yeah.
Kayla, is there a car on the screen behind you?
I don't, probably. Mike has a rotating desktop, so like every 30 seconds it's like some new picture. Thankfully, it's never anything
weird, psychedelic,
super gross, but yeah.
Yeah, the other day she was on we were all chatting, he was in the background, he's like, raid the castle, raid the castle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike's the best.
Mike is something.
All right. Yeah. So wait, I derailed.
You guys were talking about States Crates. That's what you were doing.
So yeah, we were talking about like pivoting and adjusting.
So hard.
And the funnels and the way that things are funneling through. and where things are getting stuck, you know? So have you seen this? How to get unstuck?
No, but I know that they gave that away at the eBay Open, right?
They did. It's funny. It's flowery and ridiculous, but it actually can help.
I feel like, okay, so I feel like I'm not stuck. I feel like, okay, like I have a clear path and I'm not stuck.
But even if you have a clear path, there can be parts that are stuck. So the title of the book isn't about being like mired or anything like that, because obviously none of us are mired in any way, shape, or form. We're all growing, we're all figuring out new things, we're all moving forward. But it's like, oh God, like the shirts are falling into the death pile again, but the death pile has moved, you know?
Yeah.
So that's stuck. But maybe it's only your elbow that's stuck. You can still drag it along.
Right, like you're just dripping slowly and slowly.
Exactly. It's one of those glue or something, you know? You're just your momentum stopping. But it looks like your momentum is. I mean, I don't really know. I can only view the image that you put on social media, so I don't really know. I know that I went to the bins in Hillsborough one time because I was at an estate sale and you were there. That's all I know. So I know.
Yeah, because I'm always there.
You're working your ass off. It's not free.
Why didn't you say hi? Did you say hi?
You were like picking through stuff, and
I'm very focused.
No, I didn't.
Nicole is hilarious to watch thrift. She looks like, and I'm not kidding, you know, like you watch like ER or something, and you watch like a surgeon. You see a surgeon, and they're like, you know, performing open heart surgery on like an infant, and they've got this like sweat on their brow, and they're like super determined. Like that's Nicole looking through a rack of sweaters. That's what Nicole looks like when she's looking through a rack of sweaters, and I'm not even kidding. I've been thrifting with her, and it is serious business.
People are always like, I'm afraid to talk to you, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess.
If somebody's doing their business and I know what they do and I know how I am, like I bring people to estate sales and I walk in and they try to talk to me and I'm like, I'm in there and there's like 25 to 30 minutes where like the gates are open and like, I'm sorry, I cannot answer any questions. Pick what you want. At the end, I'll help you out if I can, but like I literally have 30 minutes to decide what's going to happen in the next week sometimes, as far as like being able to get profit, like new listings and profit and keeping the float, you know? I mean, a lot of what I did comes from estate sales and they're weird. It's not just like the bins, it's not something you can depend on per se. You have to really understand where you are and the nature of what's going on and how to get the stuff because somebody else is going to. I mean, there is plenty, believe me. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like the focus that you have is because you need it to get to.
Yeah, people are always like, how do you get 100 pounds like almost every time you go? And I'm like, phew, it is hard. Like it is like pure. The whole time I'm there, I literally have headphones on because I don't make eye contact with anybody.
Wow. I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Corey, by the way. Welcome to my hangout. Nice to meet you, Nicole.
I just posted about it on Instagram, so maybe some people will come hang out.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to have that focus. You got to have that drive. I mean, how do you get to the next level without it? So obviously you have it. No, I didn't say hello. I didn't say anything because I didn't know you, and I'm just a random person, and I don't go to random people I don't know.
That's I appreciate that. I like you. But we can be friends.
Yeah. It's like, hi, I saw you on Instagram. Here, do you want a sip of my Coke?
You should hang out with me for a day. That happens. I mean,
dude, I see that you have like 30,000 followers or something. I mean, that's like.
I was walking through San Francisco and somebody messages me and says, "Are you walking down the street in San Francisco? I saw you."
That's creepy.
Like, yeah, why do you say hi? Like that's so fun. That's so guys.
View your stuff then. So on YouTube, it's like a 7-to-1 ratio or something. Like for every person who subscribes, if you have good content, like 7 more people have seen it, or 6 more people.
Oh, is it really like that?
Yeah. Subscriber ratios are so like you would think, oh well, 30 people subscribe to my thing, and that's about how many people kind of know who I am. But it's more like 180,000. Because I mean, just in passing, somebody's watched part of a video, and I mean,
It's so weird. I was at so Tony owns a baby store below my office, right? So, and she messages me and she's like, "There's an eBay employee in here right now, like looking for you."
what?
And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, he says he knows you, that like you guys met." And I knew who he was like after that, but like it's so random now, you know, like it's so like an eBay employee is like, "Hey, Nicole works up there," right?
eBay's a big company. Do you know how many employees eBay has, by the way?
I think it's something like it's what is it, like 80,000 or something like really crazy?
No, I would think more like 7, but I could be off. I would say
It's 8,000. There's something with an 8 for sure.
7 to 11,000, something like that, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're worldwide.
Oh
You're
yeah.
talking about U.S. only, or just
U.S. only? God, they probably have 80,000 in the world, huh?
yeah? Because there's, I mean, every continent has like its own eBay.
Yeah. There's, I mean, eBay Japan, eBay.
I think eBay is the number 7th. Just read something about this. It's like 7th world brand like recognition or something. Like
They say like 70% of eBay sales are not in the United States, and that's, I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense, right? But it also means like they're not like harvesting those markets to their full potential, because I mean, the United States are
So if all of that is true, what's with the new article that's out right now saying how nobody knows what eBay is? Nobody's thinking about eBay. What's with that? How do you marry those two thoughts?
Okay, so I asked about this when I went to eBay last week or whenever I went. So I actually asked about this, and I was like, have you guys seen that article like that was just written about like no one's thinking about eBay? And I guess there is like a true problem with the demographic with like 18 to 25. Like there's a true demographic problem where 18 to 25-year-olds don't shop on eBay.
Is it because they're going to places like they're thrifting on their own, they're going to Depop, they're going to Mercari? Is that the issue? Or
well, if you're talking about clothes, like 80% of the clothing sold on eBay is new. So it's not even like we're thinking very small. Like we're thinking very micro in our thoughts because we're thinking about just what we do, but that's not what actually eBay is, right? Like eBay is a marketplace of everything. And so for everything, like 18 to 25-year-olds aren't shopping on eBay.
Okay, so 18 to 25s are do we know that they're shopping in other places in the capacity in which their expendable, whatever it's called, their expendable income is?
I don't know. I just know that the guy I had lunch with this like guy, and I don't want to say like exactly what he does, but and he was telling me that like, so he was like, I want to ask you some questions about like how you use eBay. He does some design work there. And he was the one who was telling me that that's the problem. Like, he's like, yeah, I've seen like, they have test market, whatever. He's like 18 to 25-year-olds, they've really struggled with.
I mean, it could be a lot of things. eBay kind of has an image of being like an old tawdry kind of thing. It's like pre-Google, which is like this weird landscape of anything that's pre-Google is like eBay. What else is there that's pre-Google? There's like eBay. I can't even.
Amazon is actually pre-Google.
Is it?
Amazon came out like 2 months before eBay did.
Okay, I didn't realize that. 2 months before? I thought they were
not
like,
maybe 2 years. It was like so close. I just saw the dates. I was reading another article and I saw the dates. Like Amazon came out literally just before eBay.
Just before? Oh, that's crazy. I had no idea. So they're old fogies too. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what separates Amazon from eBay, really?
Amazon pivoted. eBay did not.
Yes.
Amazon knew when to pivot their market because they were just selling used books or whatever. And they knew when to pivot correctly. And they continue to know when to pivot. And that is what sets them apart.
Exactly. Which It's just what any good business does. It pivots. And the way that technology is moving now, if you cannot pivot, you are going to die. Now, eBay has the chance to really go and do something awesome that could bring them, because they have cash flow and because they have longevity and because they are compact when it comes to like a larger company, but I think that their biggest problem and what stops them from moving forward is that it's a house of cards. Like it's this thing mixed with this thing and this module and this module and this module, and they're all smashed together. And like the business owner who wants to do better doesn't know how. It's very clear on Amazon what you need to do and how you need to do it.
Right. I mean, eBay is just like, eBay's trying to do, so eBay, also, this is what I heard, this is all like hearsay, but what I heard was like, yeah, eBay wanted to go in the Amazon route, and they kind of like started to try that, but now they have realized, and this like comes straight from the mouth of an employee, but he's not like high up by any means, this could be total like bull. Yeah. He's like, but now we have realized we don't want to be Amazon, we want to be eBay. So hopefully that's like a true statement, and that they'll start like pivoting on their own in the right direction.
I've seen, so I mean, I sold my first item on eBay in like 2001. It was either late 2000 or 2001. It was a long time ago. So I've seen a lot of changes, and most of them on eBay throughout time, in the long run, haven't been good. They just haven't been good. And they went through a period where they were constantly exposing sellers to being banned for reasons they didn't understand. They were taking top-rated people and just dumping them because they didn't meet these Amazon metrics, or these metrics that they created without even telling people. And now you have people who are timid to get back into trying to do business with eBay. I mean, I think that could definitely be the case. I mean, they really stepped on their own toes for a long time. They got rid of what made them what they were, you know, and they can regain that. They definitely can. But they went through, I mean, 2007, 2008, 2006. Those weren't good years for eBay. I mean, there's a downturn in the economy too, but.
I mean, I wasn't really selling heavily on eBay then, so I don't like have that experience.
Yeah.
I just know that I love eBay.
I do too.
I had somebody comment today on one of my videos saying, like, I know eBay is paying you. Like, why else would you tell people to sell on eBay? And I was like, dang, I wish. A, legally, I would have to tell you if eBay was paying me. Like, literally, legally, I would have to have a disclaimer. B, like, if eBay wants to pay me, yeah, give me your money.
Me, pay me.
Look, I will get an eBay tattoo. I don't care.
I'll fight you in the ring with oversized gloves to see who works for eBay.
Well, I'm going to have mine say eBay. It's sponsored by. Boom, boom.
Boom, boom. I'm just going to have a big eBay punch to the side of my face.
Well, he said something like, there's no way that anyone would encourage competition for free. And I'm like, they think eBay is 5 people and you're literally like fighting for a listing. Like, just
the mentality of some of the people out there who just don't get it, like they don't do anything and they don't understand why nothing gets done. Those are the people who tell you crazy shit like that on the internet.
Yeah, the internet's a weird place.
I know. So I'm totally not an internet dude. I mean, I use the internet to sell things almost, and that's almost it for a while. I didn't even have a smartphone until like 3 years ago. I ran everything on eBay for my fucking laptop.
Okay, Grandpa.
Yeah. Okay, what are your sales like, by the way? How much are you selling in a month?
Would you like to see?
Could you please provide us with 3 years of tax returns?
Yeah, I just want to know, like,
really, that's the only way we'll believe you.
I'll be God.
But you're not actually making any money because you paid full price for everything. So.
Exactly. So I never made $1. I never made $1.
Just breaking even on everything. Let's be honest.
So
you're making all your money on YouTube, aren't you?
I have 10 viewers right now, and I have about 18 total views on my channel. Oh, dude! Wait, before I go.
This is my favorite.
Wait. This is awesome. I'll show you some numbers in a second. Right now I'm fluctuating between 9 and 11
Okay.
a month on eBay, and then I do Amazon too.
Oh, right.
And it protects me because they ebb and flow in a weird kind of way. So even though I really don't like selling on Amazon, I really don't. The platform is rife with fraud from every side. You just send your stuff in for FBA, kind of send it in and pray. I got back a box of Pringles in the place of a $400 camera.
Shut up.
Oh yeah.
Were they good Pringles though?
It went back to Amazon. So
Oh my god!
Yeah, like one of those little mini barbecue boxes of Pringles.
Why did they even bother? Like, why did they?
Because they had to send something, I guess.
Wait, and Amazon didn't notice?
No, because the customer just basically, I put bubble wrap and like a little seal, but all they do is cut the bubble wrap, pull it out, change it, put it back in, seal it up, say they didn't want it, and send it back.
Amazon was like, hey, free Pringles.
Wait, and then they sent you the Pringles.
Oh yeah, well they sent Amazon the Pringles, and then it was inside of a bag, so it had a case, and they took the camera out of the case and put a small box of Pringles in their place, put it back into the original bubble wrap.
This is the best story.
I mean, to be honest though, are you sure the Pringles weren't in there to begin with?
I just had a little.
You know what? Shout out to that guy. Shout out to fucking Pringle Man.
I had one dab too many. I sent back my Pringles. I didn't want this camera. I wanted those Pringles.
Oh, he was probably hella bummed. He went to go have some Pringles.
No, he purposefully put those in there. There was no way somebody did that.
Says you.
All kinds of crazy stuff. You would just, I mean, almost every return comes back defective, even though they haven't even opened it. It'll be like in the original package, so they get free returns. They mark it as defective, and when they do that, it fucks you over because you can't leave it there and have it sell again because they said it's defective. You have to get it sent back to you, and you have to inspect it.
And then you can't list it again for 6 months or whatever, right?
No. You can instantly list it again. The only way you can't list stuff is if you do recalls, the free recalls.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
You can't do it until the fourth quarter's over. But
okay, check it out. This is my thing with Amazon. I'm going to tell you a story, and you're going to hate me. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so Joe, before I was like a big seller, before I knew anything about Amazon, Joe was building his computer, and he builds like expensive computers, like he does it himself, whatever. And he had ordered some part from Amazon, and it was like a $300 part. It was some sort of something inside of the computer that does something. And he got it, and he was building it, and he was like, oh man, I got the wrong size. So he bought it from Amazon. And I was like, just send it back. Like, you can send anything back to Amazon. But he'd already like opened it, taken out the package. And he's like, oh yeah, duh. And he just sent it back to Amazon. And now when I think about that, I cringe so hard because I'm like, we totally screwed someone over.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon does do reimbursements for some things, but I mean, if you got something and you didn't, I mean, there has to be some middle ground. I understand.
But like, we didn't know. Like, we didn't even think about it,
Hey, you didn't try to rip anybody off or scam anybody.
Right,
like,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, most people on Amazon aren't trying to scam you. Like, the Pringle guy scammer.
99% of people are not trying to scam you. But maybe on eBay. I think on Amazon it's like about 2%, which is a huge number. I mean, I just see fraud return after fraud return. People order packages of stuff, and I'll send out a set of phones, and they'll take one out, or they'll take the batteries out, or they'll take parts out and send it back with the parts. I mean, this is happening on 3 to 5 of every 100 orders right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's why I stopped doing FBA for a while.
Whoa, that is like real intense.
Insane. It's really, really bad, especially on used electronics. And there's really no way to defend yourself. You just have to have high profit margins and hope the sale goes through.
Wow.
Really, it is really difficult. I see people put up numbers and talk about some things on Amazon, and it's not congruent with what I've seen. And I've sold new products, used books, new books, vinyl records, blank media. I've sold everything. I've even gotten returns on blank media that people like used and sent back. I mean, it can be a little troubling. Anyway, yeah. So this year, hopefully, if everything goes good, I'll hit 100,000 in sales on eBay this year, and next year. So I got a physical. So I was about to sign the paperwork, and the guy's like, "Oh, we want income statements and we want all this stuff," and I made a deal with him. I was like, "I'll pay you 6 months rent up front, give me a 10% discount, and I don't want to show you any of my financials. We'll do a 2-year lease." And he agreed to it. And then later he came back and he's like, "No, we need to see those financials." And I'm like, I just don't. I mean,
wait, are you moving? What's happening? I don't understand the story.
So I'm in my basement right now, and I have 2,000 items in my basement. Okay.
Yeah.
Or a little bit more than that. My average item sale price is like $40. So you just do the math. I have $100,000 worth of stuff down in here, you know, and I can't get much bigger than that. Okay, I can find.
Oh, so you're trying to rent another house, not like office space?
No, I have an office space in Spellwood that I'm attempting to execute on. Like, I thought everything was done, and apparently he wants some more information. So.
So did it fall through, or are you?
No. It has not fallen through. The deal is still there. Everything's good. I mean, I don't know what more you could want. I tried to make him an offer that was really appeasing. I wanted a little bit of discount on rent. He wanted a little bit more up front. Hey, he agreed to it. So we will see. The cool thing is we get a whole wall. This whole wall in Selwood, the entire wall, we can use it to paint a mural on or paint a sign.
Wait, how did you get office space in? That's a crazy area.
Yeah, I've been looking for 2 years.
That is a great area. Congratulations on that.
It's expensive, okay? So, like, it's just that
So why are you choosing to go there?
Because, so I want to be able to, when I see your model, and this is kind of inspired by, like, okay, so I always try to grow into something instead of growing out of it, right? So I try to think about that in all aspects: space, velocity, acquisition, all of that stuff. So I want to grow into a space, and I see you running around, going to the bins, picking up stuff. What if the bins came to you? You know, like, that's what
that's what I'm working towards.
Exactly. So that's why I want to be in a retail-ish. Not total retail.
Oh, so people can come to you. I get it.
But it shouldn't take up a lot of space. So it's there. It's a processing. So as you've seen, like, inventory processing is really the brain of everything that's happening. So if you can get centralized inventory processing for stuff that comes from any source, and it can be processed and go to where it needs to go, you know, if you look at like BHO and all those giant companies, it looks like that's all they're really concerned about. And it seems to me like being centralized and having a place where things can come in off the street or can come in from estate sales, garage sales, the bins, wherever, build a model that grows the business. I don't know. And maybe I'm not,
that you're right. Like, and that's where I'm headed. And I have been getting emails almost every day from people at this point, because they know once you put it out there that, like, hey, I'm buying like large quantities of items, people start wanting to sell you them.
Absolutely. There's so much stuff out there. People just don't have so you have like, you know, you have like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like when a blue whale goes up and it gets the plankton, most of it's like water. You gotta squeeze all the water out, you know, and then there's a little bit of plankton left. You gotta have some baleen. That's a ridiculous analogy, but
it is, but I'll take it. Like, I don't know where that came from, but I get your point.
You gotta be able to filter and move and process and like acquire. Like, the acquisition for you is gonna start to become a problem as if this thing is really goes where you think it's gonna go, right?
Yeah, and I mean, since there's like no one watching this, we can talk about this a little bit. That sounded really fucking rude. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go make a YouTube video about that comment.
You know what I mean, though? Like, I feel like, you know why I like hanging out right here? Because it feels like I can be super real. and it will bite me in the butt one day, but like it's really comfortable to hang out with you guys. Thank you for giving me a space.
You're welcome. I didn't make this for anybody to watch it. I made this as a space for people to come together and openly speak about what they tell stories and share commentary and all that stuff. Like I have no other intention besides like connecting with you guys. And
you have no idea how like refreshing that is.
There's no advertising or anything like that. Kala Kanai is not coming on my fucking videos ever.
Well, I'm like, that's my goal, right? And so like I have a few hard problems that I'm up against. Shipping is one, the cost of shipping, the time it takes to get certain places. So in order for me to grow, my next step is to get another location, but not in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Like either
Nashville, something.
Yeah, it's got to be like central, basically East Coast, not necessarily East, but yeah, that zone, right?
Somewhere in the circle of Chicago, or somewhere in the circle of Knoxville. I think it's Knoxville. FedEx is based in Knoxville.
Basically down there, that's where I'm looking. And so that's like my next step really is to like acquire space somewhere else in America. Mm-hmm. Because I can only do so much from here. So like growing this out, mm-hmm. and then after that, growing another space out and just like kind of continuing that.
Yeah. So almost, it wouldn't be like a franchise, but it would be like just another, the question is like, okay, so here I believe, and I could be wrong, that we have this interesting situation, and maybe this is something not to put out there on the internet too, but I'm going to put it out there anyway. Portland's never had any like major catastrophe, okay? Never been a major earthquake. There's never been a fire, flood, tsunami, none of that stuff. So you can walk into a house here from 1950 and it's like the guy walked out to get the mail and didn't come back, you know?
Yeah.
So also all that stuff ends up on the secondary market because Goodwill is so strong and they spend so much on marketing and they have such a their market penetration is just deep and their brand recognition is huge here and it's way bigger than other places. So mm-hmm. the market, take that into account. Like that might be what could make or break the ability to.
Well, okay, the other thing I have to think about, and this is like things that I've been talking about with other people, is like, how am I going to pivot away from Goodwills and away from thrift stores? Because exactly. That is only going to last for another, like, max for me, a year if I really push it.
You really push it, and you get your blisters.
But I'm already pretty much leveled out at it, and that's why I'm seeing this flat line.
Okay.
And so now I have to be able to like pivot and be like, okay, where am I going to get my stuff from? What am I going to do? And so I have some plans and I have some ideas, but those plans also need other spaces, you know, like an East Coast location basically. But that's more about like shipping and logistics like that. But the thrift store model, you're going to cap out at some point, and I pretty much have.
Yeah. Yeah. So the question is, it's like, is there more post-consumer flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is that post-consumer pipeline? And can you intercept that post-consumer pipeline, one? And two, can you invent a new one, a new stream, a new tunnel? So, I mean, there's only so much stuff that you can find in any market. There isn't, even though it may seem unlimited, it's not. There is a product flow across that market.
Okay, so here is like my idea, and I think that this can work, and we can talk about this a little bit, and people are going to knock it off maybe. But there is like a full charity side of me as well, right? Like, and if you know what I'm passionate about, you know it's generally like schools, public school systems. And there's already like a website called Schoola that kind of does this, but I think I can do it better, and I think that I can help schools and help my business and like do some drives that way and start to gain momentum with that. I also think that for the past 2 years, I've created an army of thrifters, and half of them don't list their stuff. But they're buying stuff that I train them how to buy.
So you're like Tyler Durden.
She's built up an army.
I have, though, guys. Like, if you think about what I've done over the past 2 years.
The first rule of Thrift Club.
Thrift
Club!
I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to, all those people that have literally warehouses full of stuff, I can buy from them.
There's a lot of stuff out there. That's all I was saying. It's like, you got to figure out how that acquisition. It doesn't mean that you can't even, like, pay for pieces, in a different way. Like, you obviously have a big old brain up there, and you're like thinking in the future, and you're doing what the other people don't do. You're not following, you're leading, and you're doing that by experimentation. That doesn't mean obviously you're having some failures all the time. It's just hard to, I do too. So I know, but I want to highlight my strengths and my victories because it drives me to bet higher strength and more victories. And but we all know it's, and you don't share all of your defeats. Why would you? Not all of them.
Yeah. Well, that's one of those things that for those of us that are active on social media, we hear all the time is, well, you never share like the shitty parts. And it's like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If I share like, oh, look, I bought this thing for $10 and then I sold it for $3 because it never sold and it was a shitty buy. Oh, I got a lowball offer and it really sucked. If you share all of that, then you're negative. If you only share the good things, then you're trying to sugarcoat and you're fake. So, and if you share everything, then people are like, you're oversharing. So you can't fucking win. So I think you just need to post what makes you happy and forget what everybody else wants you to see or hear. You can follow nothing but negative people if that's what you're into. You can follow nothing but fake positive people.
Or you can follow Kayla and me and get the best of both.
And you can get a little bit of both. Like, you're never going to make everybody happy. Don't even try because you're going to drive yourself insane.
So, the biggest issue, though, really is what? Cash flow.
One big issue.
What's another big issue?
So we're talking about supply.
Yes.
Cash flow. Do you have cash flow? You're deep. You have cash flow, and you can augment that cash flow as well, right?
Yeah.
So, cash flow isn't a problem for you unless you go big or you get really experimental, right?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how you run your business. I've seen some of your numbers, but a lot of that isn't as important as what, how you drive that cash flow. I think. Maybe I'm not I've been involved in a lot of different business ventures.
What other things have you done? I'm very curious, actually, because talking to you was really good fun.
Okay. So I started my first business when I was 16. There was an old abandoned building, and I'm not really into it anymore. I don't even like guns or anything like that. I was playing paintball as a young adolescent boy, and there was no place to buy the stuff. So I was like, well, I'll call some of the companies, tell them that there's no stuff here, and see if they'll let me sell it. And I did, and they did. So I found an old building, kind of painted it up, and started selling paintball stuff. Now, the internet was that was in 1996. The internet was just coming into itself, and a guy that I worked for about 4 years later started at the same time as me, had capital, and he was more intelligent than I was business-wise. He started a company called Paintball Online in Tigard, Oregon, and we were doing $5 to $6 million a year in sales in 2001 when I started, and we did $12 million in sales in 2005, the last year.
What?
In paintball equipment on the early internet. This was before we didn't sell anything on any. He had his own platform that was insane. $1 million almost $1 million a month in the last year that I was there.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
guys. You know what's even crazier?
What's up?
There was a body found hanging up above a tree at Goodwill.
You're fucking kidding me. Why are you?
Where?
Oh, my friend just sent me a text of the police scanner in my neighborhood.
Oh, local to you?
Yeah.
No.
All it says is caller reported they found a body hanging high up in a tree. And then someone else said it was behind Goodwill.
Are you announcing to the world that you're the Goodwill you're the murderer?
What?
Goodwill murderer.
She tried to get it. That person tried to get into your bin or something, and you just had to set him straight. No, is this confirmed? Is this confirmed? Is this just like rhetoric?
No. It's on the Washington County scanner.
Okay, got it.
The police scanner.
Okay. So wait, we got diverted there. So yeah.
I'm sorry. Go back to your story.
Yeah, I mean,
Dead body.
So
Cool.
then I tried some other businesses. I actually did some buying and selling, but I couldn't really. I went to garage sales. I went to all kinds of sales. I was in college, and I really couldn't find enough stuff that I could sell in the way that I needed to make money, and I didn't have enough space to do it. And I had to have a bunch of smaller stuff that I could easily move around. I mean, I was in college. People would just stop living in a place and move to another place. It wasn't that good. And then I moved to Portland in 2001. I'm from New Orleans originally.
Okay.
2001. And I instantly started working for paintballonline.com. And I was like, oh my God, this guy basically, he was doing exactly what I was doing. He just had money and like support and brains. And I was like, whoa. I kind of bemoaned the guy because I had that type of attitude at the time. Like, I'm the best. I don't need to take anybody's advice. I could do it myself. I was just stupid. Like, I was really dumb. So I worked for him for like 5 years. It was like one of the best jobs I ever had. I mean, he had like a when we started, maybe 9,000 square foot warehouse. And then we moved to Vancouver to like a 20,000 square foot warehouse. Yeah.
Where is he now?
Driving around. So he actually started the Drift, which is Mirth Provisions, which is it's a cannabis company. So he pivoted completely into cannabis. He sold everything on the extreme sports side, as far as I know. I can't speak for him because I don't know. I'm not a shareholder or anything like that. But he started Mirth Provisions, which I know that you can make money doing stuff like that or whatever, but I wouldn't want to I don't know. I feel like it's so like the government is involved in ways that I just don't want to. I don't know. I wouldn't. It wouldn't be like a business model that I would want to kind of deal with. I don't know, and that's just my own opinion. But yeah, so he started that.
He's like a serial entrepreneur, basically.
Dude, he's like when he was like 21 when I started, like I was like blown away by the things the guy was saying. I mean, he just really understood how to acquire customers. He didn't understand how to keep them, but he understood how to acquire them. He didn't even need to keep customers. He was so good at acquiring them back in these days, you know? So that's
what was he good? Like how? Okay, you're saying this. Give me some
examples. An SEO pioneer, kind of.
Oh, with like okay.
Yeah, like
acquiring customers is different now, though.
Way different, and that's what kind of pushed him out of. That's kind of what pushed him out, I think. I mean, I can't really speak because I left the company in 2005 or 2000, either 2006, early 2000, like April 2006, but. Yeah, it was. I just learned so much, and I just kind of held it, and like there were just so many cracks, so many crevices, so many leaks, and I just kind of kept track of how he ran that business. And then I tried to run a couple. I did some like we did like a gourmet mushroom. Like I'm a botanist. That's like what I went to college for, and I've been into plants and fungi my entire life. But we started a company that grew mushrooms and sold them on the internet, grew like exotic mushrooms and also sourced like exotic. But yeah, I couldn't make it profitable. Then I did field work and botany for a while, figured out if I could do that. And I just can't have people tell me what to do. So I couldn't do that. I just couldn't. I just didn't like academia and the way that things were formed, and I wasn't smart enough anyway. So I also didn't really like it. I liked the pursuit of knowledge part of it. I didn't like the way it was like structured, especially on like the working side. So then I met my wife. I had some trouble here in Portland a little bit. I was dead broke. I was in a bad mental state, and I just couldn't get things started. So I actually moved back to Louisiana. It was the worst year of my life. All kinds of bad things happened. Just bad. I mean, not like go to jail bad, but just like bad things were happening all around me. Like people died.
Yeah.
People died. Like not. I wasn't involved in any of these things, but they were just.
But that, it messes with you still. And
I got kicked out of some business opportunities that I was kind of like promised, but they didn't work out. And I did a lot of work to do them, and it just. I was taking somebody else's lead, and it just wasn't working out for me. So I had the opportunity to start here in Portland the local franchise of Delivery Dudes. So I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a food delivery service. It's like Uber Eats, but we were out kind of before them. And it's still here in Portland, Happy Valley, and Southeast Portland. Well, I started that here about 3 years ago. And we got almost to being profitable, and then like all these other companies hopped into the market, and our customer acquisition cost went from like $7 to like $70, and we could not acquire new customers profitably anymore. So I kind of all that time I was still like selling on eBay, selling on Amazon, mostly FBA because I didn't know what I was going to do. I was doing all these experiments, and I had been for several years. I was selling from Argentina into the United States on eBay. So I'd go to like upper end estate sales, like and get smaller things, watches, some types of tiles, ceramics. Oh yeah, yeah. I've gone over to over 150 estate sales in Argentina. Mm-hmm. Well over.
That's so cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I mean it's so different than here. You can't acquire. You can make really good money on things, but things are just rarer. There just aren't as many things because it doesn't have open importation. So the opportunity came to do Delivery Dudes. I kind of use it as an opportunity to figure out how to get back here, figure out how to get back to the Pacific Northwest and stay. So we started. I struggled and struggled and struggled and struggled, and finally I released it when I was doing eight. I got up to like 8,000 to 9,000 a month between Amazon and eBay. And then I was like, I'm done. Here's my terms. If you don't want to do this, I'm done. I quit. I'm out. So they didn't agree to the terms. I went out. And that was last August. Yeah, it was last August. So it took me about 2 years to get to a place where starting with, because I had zero capital. I mean, my dad lent me $300 to get started back again. I've had good and I've had bad. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. So I really focused. I just put everything back into it while I was working. So over that 2-year period, I just was working at Delivery Dudes and putting everything back in inventory, everything back in inventory, everything back in inventory, everything back in inventory. And then at that point, when I set that goal, I was like, it's done. So it was done, and I've just been going up ever since. I've had some struggles with finding quality inventory, really I have. But then I got really deeper. You go through cycles, where you're like, okay, I've done this, I'm here, this will get me here. And then I'm kind of like in this, it's not a limbo that I'm in right now, but I can't really do much more until I get to this bigger space.
And I think you're smart. You're going to start acquiring inventory differently, and that's really smart.
Yeah.
The problem that we face, I feel like, as doing what we do, is time.
It's my biggest hindrance.
Yeah, because I don't have more than you only have so much time to thrift in a day, right? Like you only have so much time. I could spend all my time thrifting, but then I don't get any. There's just this horrible time balance in a thrifter's life.
Yeah, but your business is a thrifting business. The question is really as far as I see, you have the skills to do way, way, way more. You're just getting there. You're not overstepping what you're actually personally responsible for, and that's really smart. A lot of business owners are just like, oh, this is an easy route. I can just open this door, give me this money, do this thing, and I'll just go. You know, it's not like that.
Yeah. It's hard because like now, like, okay, so I have people like willing to give me money to grow my business, and it's like, what do I even do at that point, you know?
Yeah. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Pick with Joy. Hi, 19th Vintage. How you guys doing? We know you're there.
Hi, guys.
We're really glad you're here listening to us rant.
But yeah, I'm still going to have the same amount of time in the day.
Absolutely. So you're going to have to find more and more efficient systems or more efficient uses for your time, or you're going to have to leverage your strengths and get rid of the things that you're weak at. I mean, you have to trim off the fat, and you gotta keep going, and maybe there's some fat that maybe there's some things in your business model that with a couple $1,000 you could fix, and they'd be fixed almost permanently, and it would save you 2 hours per day or 3 hours per day.
Okay, so this is what you're like so smart, and I love this conversation so much because like I feel up until like 2 weeks ago, I was like, I just, you know, I run an eBay store and I do this stuff and it's fun, but like I didn't have a business model or like.
But that's the most successful people. Do you think they had you think Apple had a business model? Apple didn't have a business model. They were hammering keys to a keyboard with a socket wrench. Come on, man.
But like I don't know what I'm doing, and some people think I know what I'm doing, and I'm just laughing at them.
You definitely know what you're doing, but you don't know everything because you can't. Ask Alan Greenspan if he knows everything about running a business, and he'll tell you no.
Yeah, I do notice around myself with people who know what to like the things that like if I don't know something, I seek it out, right?
Exactly. So that's the first thing a successful person does that I've seen in my life. They don't just say, oh, well, the answer must just be this or must be that. I'll just go forward. They're like, fuck, I have a decision to make. If I just go this way, it's uncertainty. If I go this way, at least I'll gain some certainty. And in this everything's so uncertain, the more certainty you can gain about a particular outcome, the less risky it is, right? Even though it may seem risky, like financially, the more information you can gather about it, just like you're saying, not having the pride to say, I don't know. I just don't know. And it's okay. But I mean, that's your advantage. Like that's going to bring you so much farther than the guy who's like, I've been selling hot dogs for 92 years. A pork beef blend is what the customers want. You know, we audited your business and you've had a 95% decline in customers who started making vegan hot dogs. Did you think about offering those? Vegans? That's what these hot dogs are made of.
Oh my God.
No. So I mean, yeah, you gotta understand that you don't know it all, and that's you obviously don't. But you're also giving people a lot of information. You're also like showing people who actually, obviously, you have a lot of spectators who are just there. They're going to cheer you on, and they love you because they like who you are and they like what you do. And they'll just they're not just anything. Excuse me. They cheer for you because they really want you to succeed. They like you. They see what you're doing for other people. They know that you help other people, and that drives them, right?
It's the thank you economy. Like it really is like that whole.
Exactly. So they actually care, and then you're going to have, you know, your detractors, and then you're going to have a small percentage of people who are actually going to do the things that you do and take your example, and you're not going to tell them to. They're just going to see. They're going to see something, and they're going to be like, wow, I'm not really following her lead. I'm taking her wisdom. But the way that you do it here is crazy because you have no idea. Like a spark that you might have sparked in a guy who's in his basement in Portland, you know?
Dude, okay, so some of the people that hate me the most are the people who literally gave me that spark, and they have no idea that it was them.
That is really fucked up.
So they have no idea. Like, there's people that I know that hate me, despise me.
Okay, I don't know you. I mean,
no, but I mean, like, listen to this. But what they don't know is that they are the ones who got me. There was one interview that I listened to once, and that literally changed everything in my business and me. I wasn't in business at that point. I was just selling 10 things a month on eBay. Literally changed everything. And that, like, those people like despise me, but they have no idea that they're the ones who actually.
It's their fault.
It's their fault I'm here.
Thanks a lot.
God,
Isn't that crazy to think about?
Look
And
at-
that's probably going to be something I do one day too. You know?
Well, okay. Well, you have your chance right now. Hey, man. No, you actually got me back into doing, because I was doing some fashion way back in the day in my initial experiments. I just wasn't any good at it. I had no idea what I was doing. And then I just took what some people were saying and tried it myself. But I only want to sell things that I think are cool because I'm done right now. But later I'll sell other stuff probably. Anyway, yeah, I mean, if you put yourself out there and people take it, they can take it in lots of different ways. But I mean, back to our split there. I mean, what did you expect when you started all of this? This social media.
Oh, dude, not where I am. No. I filmed my first video over at this kitchen table. My camera was sideways, and I was just talking to myself like a dummy.
That's what I do.
And then now I have people. The weirdest thing happened. I was at the NorCal reseller meetup. This is like a weird thing that happened to where I realized like maybe I'm something bigger than I realized. I'm sitting at a table eating some guacamole and chips. It was so good, like digging into this. And then somebody sits 2 chairs down from me and like kind of looks at me and then looks at his girlfriend that's sitting next to him and says, "Oh my God, that's Nicole State." And I'm literally just sitting there eating my guac, and I'm like, I can hear you.
Like,
Hi.
we're sharing the same booth right now. You accidentally grabbed my beer.
Do you want some guac? Because you can have it, it's mine. But like,
just don't put your fingers in it, or put it in a vial. Don't put it in a vial and save it in your freezer.
but yeah, I don't know. I didn't expect like anything in my life to be where it is right now.
Would you say your social media presence drove your current success?
At 100%.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
No, like literally,
Congratulations.
I can tell you 100% where I am right now. I'm at this pivot. I'm in a very big fork in my life, right? 100% was because of what I did on social media.
Awesome. No. It's not 100% because of social media. Come on.
Okay, well, it's the work I put in.
Well, that's like 80%. What do they say?
But I wouldn't have had the opportunity if I hadn't have recorded the work I put in.
I don't think you would be here right now. I think that social media accelerated your progress substantially.
Yeah.
I think that no matter what, you would be where you are, but I think
so too. And it may
the
not
timeline moved up
but
a lot.
I just see you as a successful person. Like, I think that you don't take. I mean, everybody makes excuses, but I think you're the type of person who like sees an excuse and vaporizes it because you know it's bullshit. That's what I see.
Yeah, you know what? I think that just comes from like
It's not natural. It's
no
natural. Something.
This is what it comes from, and like it comes from having to fend for myself for so long.
Okay, I don't know anything. Listen, I just saw you on. I mean, I used to watch like Rakin Profit and the other guy.
Oh yeah, Bonafide.
Yeah, the Bonafide Hustler. I used to watch him while I was listing stuff, and like I just kind of liked it. And he would always talk about the stuff I was finding, so I was always like, oh, cool. And sometimes he'd throw in something that was like new and cool, but I don't know. I've never been a huge consumer of social media or a huge producer. Right now, oh my God, what happened?
Oh my God, Mike.
Dude, those are so awesome.
Well, there's some glow with the show ears.
Call him Mr. Wrong. Call him insane.
The best part is he can't hear you guys because you're in my headphones.
Oh man, I just went. I don't even know what type of music that is. Anyway, where are we going? Oh gosh, I got derailed.
Who knows?
So
We were just talking about me. Thanks, guys.
Can we go back to talking about me?
I was having a lot of fun talking about me.
I came.
Okay, so I'm just at this pivot.
Where's my latte? Where?
God damn it.
Oh my God, I am hiring a PA, and I'm not kidding.
That's what I'm talking about.
But that's not a bad thing.
Okay, I need someone to clean the kitchen at work.
Are you serious? Why don't you have one already? Are you crazy?
No, that's like, okay, step one. I had to like make this whole like, what would you? I had this like meeting, and it was like, what would you do? And it was like, well, step one, hire someone else to do these fucking books that you're making me do.
Yeah.
And two, like, I need another person who can do the things I shouldn't be doing anymore.
Exactly. But
why don't you have that? Like, okay, so where you're like in a basement still. You're doing crazy good numbers. What's up?
I don't think my numbers are that good.
They're like the same as mine.
Really?
Do you saw my numbers? You said you did 10,000 on eBay, right? Plus Amazon.
Yeah, this year I'll average 10,000 per month on eBay. Yeah.
And then plus Amazon. So what are you doing?
You were like 20,000 a month on eBay.
But I don't do Amazon.
Yeah. So my average buy price is $7 and my average sale price is $40. Just so you know.
Okay, so you're doing about the same as me.
Yeah. I don't know what your average sale price is, but
15. My average buy price is about $1.50, $2.
Yeah. So I have pipelines. So when I get inventory, I make a phone call. Somebody brings me back my old inventory, I give them new inventory, and that's basically my job right now.
Oh, you're not listing anything.
Fuck no.
Oh, who's doing your listings?
I have independent contractors do it.
What about everything? Photos, everything?
Everything. They make the draft, the photos. One of them prices, the other one doesn't. So I have I'm experimenting with 2 different models. One, she has to take like 10 pictures, but she doesn't have to price it. And the other one only has to take up to 6 pictures, but she has to price it. The non-pricing one just moves so much faster. It's the pricing that's the bottleneck.
I don't want my guys price yet because I price so quick.
She doesn't. Garage. I did a show and Garage Flips jumped on. He's like, "How the hell are you pricing this stuff so fast?" I'm like, "I don't know. I have an average sale price, and that's where I'm kind of like working from." And I'm just kind of like,
right, like, and that's where I'm at too.
Like, it doesn't. I'm looking to make. I know that if I do $175,000 a day, that's $100,000 a year.
$175,000 a day. You just said.
$175 a day is.
I would also like to do $175,000 a day.
I would do it. It's possible. Somebody's doing it. Amazon's doing it. I don't fucking know. Shit. Don't blame me.
You're right though. Like.
So I'm all about the daily goals, okay? And I'm about like I really feel like I'm a couple of steps behind where like you are and where you're going. But I'm not on the same path as you at all. I'm just talking about as my business grows. So I've only been at inventory capacity for about 30 days. Okay.
Oh, that's harsh though.
I've only been at inventory capacity for about that, and that's not capital. That is space. The reason I'm keeping space here on purpose, so I could fit another 400 items in here right now. The reason I'm not doing that is because I want to grow into this new space. Like, so I have these 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8. Let's call it 16. I have 16 of these racks that you see behind me.
Mm-hmm.
This is like my shittiest inventory. I like to put it right behind me so people will think this is what I sell. No, if you look around me, this whole place is very.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then there's clothing in front of me and bins, and then behind that there's unboxed electronics, and then I have like. Anything else that's going on.
I mean, honestly, even in my office space, which I just expanded, I have to get a warehouse. I have to get a legit warehouse in the next 6 months.
So this spot in Solid is like, it's legit to get to 10K, and that's where it's, and this doesn't have anything to do with like 10K on the Bay or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
For me, like I always had a goal of trying. When I started, I was like, I'm gonna get to $1 million, and I'm not gonna put a timeline on that, but I'm gonna fucking figure it out. God damn it!
Yeah.
I know I can figure it out, and like I don't know if I can even maintain it. I just want to get there. Then I'll see if I figure out a way to maintain it. But I want to get there.
I was thinking about this today a lot, actually. Like, this randomly popped into my head, and it was like, like, okay, like, what's my end goal? Because I'd never thought about that before this week. Like, okay, someone asked me what's your end goal, and I was like, well, I don't know. I literally said, I don't know. Like, and then I thought, like, okay, so maybe my end goal is to do $1 million in sales on eBay. That's also like a goal that I have for myself. And like, but like, is doing the $1 million the best part, or is like the journey to the $1 million the best part?
It's the journey, I think.
Like, that is like, and I love my job. I love what I do. I like, okay, so what happens when it's like you open it's like when your birthday comes and it's like you build up to your birthday and then your birthday comes and you're like, yeah, this is great, but like, let's do it again, you know?
Then you have that depression afterwards.
Yeah.
No way. I wouldn't have the depression. I'd be like, holy shit, I actually did something. Wow, that's cool.
But then I think there is that lull period after great success where you just go, okay, now what?
So if you fall into great success, which does happen, I think that's different than like that slow ride.
Working for it.
Yeah.
I think you have that time where you celebrate and appreciate it. But
yeah, definitely.
It will fade, especially if you're somebody that's just hungry for it.
The only person who can run your business, if it's still your business, is you. It's when you get into like having stockholders and a chair, like a board and all that other crazy stuff. It's like what we do, what all three of us do, could be applied to lots of other different types of businesses. We're all just learning about business, and like, it's like you've taken a super course at this point. I mean, it's really not. I think I'm tiny. Like, I'm gonna do $100,000 this year on Amazon on eBay, and that for me is like, I'm kind of embarrassed by that. Like, I really
honestly, we are minuscule. We are like not even on eBay's radar.
I'm a fly. Yeah. Well, I'm definitely on their I think I'm definitely on their radar for some reason. After going to the eBay Open, I'm definitely on their radar because like I get a call like that checks up on me, and I get like emails from people at eBay now, and they raised my limit to $1 billion and 1 billion items.
Well, they definitely pay attention to me, but that's what I forced them.
As an influencer, you have to remember, like, so like social media influencers are in this sphere, right? And that sphere is managed by this sphere, or the aptitude or the ability to interact with that is one sphere, and that sphere may not directly interact with this other sphere over here. Yeah. So you might have a scope with eBay, but it's like, where does that scope in? Like you were saying, they have 80,000 employees around the world. I mean, that's a lot. And, they're doing our sales volume
in a minute.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Like, and I'm not excited, like literally about a minute.
Yeah, about a minute. But there are a limited number of minutes in the year. I'm a minute now. I can be 5 minutes.
I would love to be 5 minutes of this.
So this guy who I had no idea what conversion rate was. I had no idea what any of that stuff, and all of that is kind of fading away, honestly, when it comes to like internet metrics. A lot of it doesn't matter because the face of the shopper is shifting and the way that people interact with commerce is shifting. But Adam, who ran Paintball Online, said to me one day, I said, dude, what do I have to do? Like, can I start my own brand? I want to double what I make. What do I have to do for you to double what I make? And he was like, double my conversion, and I'll give everybody a $50,000 bonus if you can double my conversion for a year. That's what he said. It's like, oh, thanks, dude. I don't even know what that means. But I mean,
you know that I doubled my conversion rate?
I saw that. Your conversion rate is fucking insane.
So give me that 50 grand.
I'm not the guy making the offer. I was the guy trying to get the 50 grand. I'm not trying to give away the 50 grand. Could you?
But this is the thing, and this is what you're talking. Like, back to that point, though, everything is changing.
Mm-hmm.
My conversion rate doubled because of social media.
So what people initially thought is that social media would drive down conversion.
Oh, and it does.
I don't want to share my information. Well, you're saying the opposite.
Well, it's a fine balance.
You have to do it smart. There's
Yeah.
a
And I didn't do it on my own, right? Like I had some help
Yeah.
with people who are like good at doing those things. And I can tell you that like, yeah, social media screws your conversion because everyone is just looking at your stuff and not buying it.
So, but why does that matter on eBay? Because you're not paying for traffic anyway.
Absolutely matters because of the algorithms. And if you are
I'm
for you, maybe because you're selling like random weird stuff.
Yeah.
it's different for clothes sellers.
I wasn't shaking my head at what you're saying. I was saying like, I just never knew. Like, I'm totally listening right now. That was not an argument.
Oh yeah, no. So like, but for me, I'm selling a shirt, and there's 10,000 of that. Like I'm listing like Express blue shirt. There's 10,000 Express blue shirts on eBay, right?
Absolutely.
And so my goal is to have algorithms love me and put me on the front page, or I'm not going to sell it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that's why so 30% of my inventory is clothing.
But is it rare, like one-off clothing, or is it like?
Because vintage is different too. It's the same thing with vintage where looky-loos don't really matter.
I don't sell anything that was made after 1994.
So yours is like not.
Exactly. So yeah.
Commodity items.
I always thought conversion mattered. I mean, I try to use great keywords and have great pictures and measurements and all that other stuff so that when somebody sees it and they want it, they buy it. I don't want anyone who's willing to make that purchase to leave. I want to have all my ducks in a row for them to buy now. So, yeah, for me, conversion is important because for me, it helps me understand the quality of my inventory maybe, or the quality of my listings. It's really hard to tell. But if you look, so I still have listings mixed in before I started using white backgrounds and color balances. I mean, I sold a Prana shirt yesterday that the pictures were so bad and I just refused to change it. I was like, I don't even want to mess with this. I'm just going to leave it there. And I listed it maybe last September and it sold today.
I sold a jacket today that I've had listed for months. It still had the fur background. I've like done so many things with that. Then it just sold for full price today.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I've learned, and I never thought that this would be the case, is like, it seems like a big inventory is dangerous, but for me, it really protects me from the ebbs and flows of the market. So I really like having this bigger inventory because it's like, there's never a day that I don't meet my sales goals. There really isn't.
If you're going to scale, you have to have a big inventory, period.
Yeah. But you need cash flow to scale, right?
Yeah, you need cash flow, but you also need a big, like, I need 10,000 pieces in my store if I want to scale to where I want to get.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not going to do 1 million in sales without 10,000 items.
Me neither. It's just not going to happen. I just don't.
Not,
I mean, my sell-through is like 13 to 14% on a normal month. You know? So, yeah.
But even with my sell-through, like, I have a really good sell-through rate, and it's still like I have to have a ton of items.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think it's possible. I'm not saying I've never committed to the fact that I could actually do the million, but I'm just gonna like continue to like build a scaffolding and the structure. I'm trying to build it from the ground up, you know. So it's not like built like.
It's gonna take 10 years, but you can totally do it.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take 10 years. We could make a bet on that, actually.
I think maybe 3 for you.
Whoa, that line changed quick.
For you, I said, because you are like running as hard and fast, and you'll keep running as hard and fast until you hit that finish line.
Dude, I didn't know what I'm still discovering what that even means. I'm still discovering what hard and fast really means. I have a very unusual skill set that like I couldn't apply to anything else. I find a lot of weird stuff that people want like almost instinctually. It just comes and falls in front of my face sometimes.
So I'm the same way. Like, I know it's just clothing that I'm mostly selling, but like I'm really good at it. That's really dumb.
Yeah, I don't even know about clothing, and I see the stuff that you post, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, and this is why, you know, like you got to have that eye, I guess. But you know, as you get higher in, I mean, maybe there's a point that based on this business model, maybe there's a point where, you know, the ball doesn't go through the funnel. It just can't pop back out again, you know? It's like it doesn't fit out. So,
there's a point where both of us are going to hit where we cannot touch every piece of inventory.
exactly. So I'm already at that point. I don't want to touch any inventory anymore. I really don't. There's no point in it.
You don't want to source it? You have to source it.
I want to source it. When I say inventory, for me, it's not inventory until it's been processed and put into inventory.
Okay, I'm talking like there's going to be a point in my life where I'm not even able to touch every piece of item.
Absolutely. So I'm already seeing that as the future, and that's why I need a space to sort. I need a space for people to bring stuff. I need to be able to buy out whole estates. I don't know. I haven't figured it out exactly yet, but I need to understand. I'm understanding more about how the Portland market works here. And I'm not stuck in this market. This is all of this to me is step one. Just one. Getting something that can get to $1 million in sales velocity in Portland is just step one for me. I don't know what. And
are you trying to get to $1 million in Portland alone, or are you trying
to? Absolutely.
That's intense.
Yes.
But I think that you can actually do that. Portland is a good mecca.
It's a mecca, and there's just so much product flow, and you have to think, like, if you can figure out how to that's one of the I'm not the I guess it's not I shouldn't be giving business advice because I'm not the most successful business guy, but like what I see in my imagination is like there is a product flow, like I was saying before, and the only way you can do this is to inject yourself into that product flow. And it's going to be at the expense of other functioning businesses, most likely.
What do you mean?
So, like, the products are flowing in and out of the market, right? So why do things go to Goodwill? Why? Why do things go to any other place?
Oh, yeah, just the way they have better marketing than me, or it's just brand recognition almost.
Exactly. So they have a place in the market, and maybe, and I'm not speaking specifically about Goodwill, but maybe you can provide more value to the marketplace some way to acquire the goods that you want, and only the goods that you want. You know, that's it. So, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's impossible. I'm not sure. I'm thinking like you're thinking. I'm thinking like I can't go to. There's going to be a point where I can't go to the stuff anymore. And what is that point, and how do I get there? You know.
And that's where, like, literally the point I'm at, and the point that I'm having, the conversations I'm having to have with other people is like, Nicole, your job is to source, but like you can't drive your car around from store to store and source anymore. So what are we going to do? How are we going to fix that? That's a hard thing to fix.
Is your skill set solely responsible for the sourcing, or can you figure out how to outsource that? Outsource sourcing.
Well, I mean, I have to sell sourcing to other people essentially.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, I have to start selling that.
Yeah. 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 Like, I know what you're saying. The question is how.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think I have a good idea how. I'm going to use what I already have, which is like this great social media base and this great, I literally have been teaching people for 2 years how to source.
Yeah.
And so if I can continue to use that and kind of shape that and have like a little army of thrifters, like I have the ability to really do this. But then there's other ways too, you know, like I can buy trucks, but then like, there's so much waste and like,
I started to do this because I'm like you in that regard, like the planned obsolescence and like all of the waste that's produced. Like I moved to Portland for a reason. I didn't just move here by accident. I made a choice to move here to get away from where I was living in New Orleans, where things are going a lot differently than here. And I like that. I like that side of the business, and I think that's what brings a lot of the value of it, is that it is post-consumer. You know? Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of post-consumer stuff out there. I mean, it ends up at the bins. Why does the great stuff that you find end up at the bins?
Because there's so much crap.
Exactly. And they have a pinch on the product flow, right? Mm-hmm. they are pinching the product flow, even product flow that they're not even using. I mean, they're just throwing that stuff in a bin. It's just like dung.
Goodwill has I did an interview once with a Goodwill employee, and then there was some just legal reasons why I could not post it. Let's just put it that way. But I did an interview once with a Goodwill employee, and she legitly was like, "We would never touch even like a half of what came into the store."
Absolutely.
And she said, and this was in like a small town, like on the East Coast. Like it wasn't like there was like in Portland, there's a Goodwill on every corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like even
amounts of stuff.
Like
the Goodwill on Broadway, if you look in the Goodwill on Broadway in like Portland or any random Goodwill, if you look into the room where the stuff is, you'll just see bins and bins and bins and bins and bins and bins of unsorted stuff. And what they actually do is they take the good stuff and they put it on the internet, right? And then they take the other stuff that they can't process in that way.
Hey.
Chris, lovely to see you, brother. How are you?
Welcome.
Oh my God, I love you. We miss you.
I know. Thank you. I miss you guys too. How are you guys doing?
This is like the best hangout.
Oh my God, I'm so happy. I was having a hard, not really, like mentally hard day. This is like the best hangout ever now.
Did I interrupt your guys'?
No,
absolutely not, man. We were just chatting about being superstars. Superstars.
Okay, so we were talking about all the products that Goodwill doesn't touch in a day.
Oh, I don't have any good Goodwill stories except for I saw them. They scan books at the Goodwill that I'm at. I've seen them do it.
They scan books at all of them now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That was the whole thing.
Yeah, they're starting to get more savvy on how to process inventory. And it's going to continue that way.
And whatever thing they had was like it would make like a like this weird like rejection sound, or like a happy like cha-ching sound if it was good.
It sounds like scan
scan FBA scan, but it was something else. It wasn't that, but it was like a gong noise, like gong, and then and then
well scan.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I saw you guys. Check this out. I was going to San Jose, and I was like, I'm gonna look up the Goodwills in the area. They have this beautiful website, and then it's like, check out our online locations. They have $1 million eBay store.
Yep.
They have a store doing $1 million a year, just like clothes and stuff.
Do you get what I'm saying?
The Seattle Goodwill, the big one, like the big fancy one, has an Etsy shop where they sell all of their vintage couture items that come in.
Goodwill of the Columbia Valley, which is here in Portland. I don't think it's Beaverton. It's like the Portland locations and Milwaukee, the bins. That little entity, I think it's 7 stores. There's one up on Lombard. It's called Good.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Glenwood Industries. They did like $12 million. I think it was $11 or $12 million in sales last year. I was there when they were having a meeting.
Wait, online or
a combination of everything?
Okay.
And according to the people I know there, 30% of what's sold value-wise is on the internet. 70% value-wise is in the store. So what was I going to say? Oh, they so that's a lot of product. And so the bins, I was there when they were doing there was a board of little meeting dudes. They used to shop at the bins all the time. They had the little clipboards, and they're like, "What do you mean this location did $1.4 million last year? That's way too much." They were like, "Too much good stuff is coming here. You can't do that much sales if the stuff has been filtered." That's basically what they were saying. And this was maybe 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, something like that. But I don't know. I mean, it's not. You don't. I don't know. I don't know. I think that I don't want to. It sounds like you know how to pivot, so it really doesn't matter. Like you know where you're gonna go, and you're gonna figure out how to acquire the things that you need.
Yeah, the thrift store idea, like what I'm doing now, I'm literally a year, even sooner probably, like 6 months max before I have to be done with that.
High five. We're figuring it out. Can we high five it? Cool. I know that you'll figure it out. Like you got it. You got it down pat.
We'll figure it out. Hey. Mr. Evil, are you on your Evilos channel right now?
Yeah, I always use my Evilos channel when I'm doing these things.
Oh, I thought you used the Thrift Shop Hustler one.
No, because I don't know why I don't do that. I think because it's weird because I think my Google Plus defaults to the Evilos one, but my YouTube channel's on. I don't know. It's all mixed up. I got all my personas all mixed up.
Personas mixed up. Are we actually speaking with the true Chris, or are we talking with Evil?
No, I'm me throughout the whole thing. I just have these different like areas that I chill, you know.
Oh, got it. I mean, if you saw my videos that I do on this channel, you would think I was slightly, you know, probably a little bit more ecstatic than I actually am.
Yeah, I trip out how you always have these crazy hats on. That's your. You gotta roll with that. You gotta always do that.
Wait, can I do something special for everyone? I appreciate all of you in the chat.
Is that Chewbacca's? Is that Chris, a Chewbacca pelt?
Be quiet and wait.
Oh, Bear in the Big Blue House.
My God, what the hell?
Wait, what is it?
Bear in the Big Blue House.
I've never heard of that.
It looked familiar. Hazel, do you have any kids?
Yes.
Oh, I was gonna say, you know, because like my kids used to watch that show.
No, she watches weird shit.
Oh, okay.
Is that the name of the show you're watching?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Anyway, so I was supposed to sell that for Halloween. I totally.
Oh my God! Don't get me started. Like I have 3 bins, and I talked to Nicole about this before. Remember, Nicole? I told you something. I don't know. I was like saying something.
You were really pumped you were gonna get them up.
Yeah, and I didn't even touch them. They were like 3 bins full of Halloween costumes for like 3 or 4.
I listed all my Halloween stuff, but this one, but I don't know. I just really like it. Maybe I'm like a furry in disguise.
I got a question. Is those games and stuff in your background, or is that for play, or is that stock?
That's stock, but that's like also to play. Like I have like. Yeah, dude.
I thought that they looked like a whole. Because you know, I don't know if your guys' grandparents, but my grandparents, both of them, you go to their house and they'd have like that closet that was like full of puzzles and board games and stuff like that, and that's what it reminds me of, like just like all that fun.
All that fun. Well, I sell like 2 to 3 things off of that shelf a week, basically.
Right.
That's kind of slow moving stuff, and then as you move, if you see like, you know, new in box kind of Discman stuff like that.
Yeah.
Star Wars. I mean, there's just a bunch of stuff mixed in there. But
have you found a Fireball Island in the wild yet?
I have more than.
No way.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite games growing up.
So, did anybody see that? If you didn't see it, so I picked up a Nike bag, and it was like from the 1972 Munich Olympics.
Yes. What happened?
So this guy, he might be watching right now. He saw me coming out with the bag, and I sold it to him. And when I stop this broadcast, I'll tell you how much. But I'm not going to say that on the air.
Wait, what did you sell it to?
I sold it to a local reseller.
So you got to sell it locally, even. You didn't have to deal with the eBay bullshit. I
No
love it. Oh, it's amazing.
I came, met the guy, and holy shit! When I tell you, you're not gonna fucking believe me.
I'm so excited.
Anyway, so I haven't put that whole Nike haul that you saw first, and like the first shout out that like I got a shout out from you on that crazy Nike suit.
Oh yeah, that thing was crazy cool.
Yeah, so I haven't even put that up for sale yet because, like, I was kind of waiting for fourth quarter to be really rolling and then put that really crazy stuff up, you know. But I don't know. It's interesting. So, but it's not a death pile. I just haven't put it up for sale.
Yeah, I saw you with that. What was it? A flip camera with some guy's name engraved on it.
Yeah, she's the global marketing director of Nike, and she started with Nike in like 1995, and she still works for Nike. And I mean, it was like, I was like, whoa, this could have like Snoop Dogg on it or something. Like, for real.
Was there anything on it?
Like Michael Jordan on this thing, right? So I was like, oh, let's see. It was a kid skiing, so I I took them off of there.
Oh, don't you love that? I love finding old cameras and stuff, and I'll develop the film, or like I'll look at the SD cards, and like you're like looking at all these photos, you're like, why would someone like just get rid of this and not take their SD cards out of here?
I probably didn't even like pay attention.
No,
I was stepping on someone's photo today at the outlet though, and I would look down and I was like, dang, that's someone's family under my foot.
Now I haven't seen any. I haven't found any things over the years that had like really weird photos on them or anything like, you know, sexual or whatever. But you know, you always want to like be like, am I gonna see some like, you know, serial killers like?
You can just open my DM box.
You know, like there's literally that potential to find the weirdest stuff.
You can just
I want that so bad.
Kayla knows about this. My other box is full of fun pics.
Oh my god. She sends us a picture, our little group chat last night.
Oh my god. I was like, I have to see this. So do you.
You have to see it. Oh boy.
This is why I don't open my other boxes.
I don't know what they're talking about. I'm a little.
Oh,
bit,
you
I don't know
know.
what you're talking about either.
I'm
Yeah.
not.
No.
I'm very naive, so it could be anything. I'm very like I don't understand anything.
No, I mean it trips me out. Like I find I buy laptops when people have their email and Facebook accounts still logged into it. You know, it's like the weirdest. Like, oh my god, like, are you really kidding? Like, are you really just sold this and didn't even wipe your hard drives or anything?
Wait for this one. I went to an estate sale in Gresham, like the hills of Gresham, on this Persimmon golf course. It was like built in the 90s or something, and really high end. I went to buy some Louis Vuitton purses, which ended up being fake, which really sucked because I was in the rain for 2 hours for the opportunity to buy them. Every purse in the house was fake, and then there was one really cool reproduction that I liked, and I go to check out, and the woman who owned the house, her ID, her social security card, her credit cards, and $600.
No way.
Mm-hmm. They didn't even take it out of the purse.
Now, I've never found money. I see all these Instagram photos of people finding money in the bins all the time, and like I'm like,
I don't find money either, ever. I saw a picture of someone found like $1,000 in a shoe, inside of a shoe.
Bullshit.
I found $100 like Visa gift card once.
Yeah, I find like $7, especially jackets. If jackets have these little weird little pockets, you'll find like $1, $7.
But I will admit, I find myself looking at all these different little pockets and pouches now that I'm in the thrift store.
No,
I do. Because I'm like, I'm gonna find this 20 in here.
there's people at my bins who grab all the purses and they put them in their cart and they literally just look through them for cash and throw them
They
back.
could not care
Yeah.
less what the
I've
purse
totally
is.
seen those people, and they throw back awesome purses sometimes.
Yeah.
For real.
No, I got a fossil purse yesterday that they threw back, and I was like, this is like a good $40.
Wow, I didn't
Did
know
you
that.
guys see? Go ahead.
No, I'm not saying anything.
No, I was gonna say, did you guys see the story about the lady that worked at a thrift shop that found like 40 G's in like a bag or something like that?
No, tell us the story.
Well, it was from many years ago, and I wish I had the exact numbers, but no, like one of the workers who was going through all the things, it wasn't like at a Goodwill. I think it was just some other random place, but she turned it in. She found 40 grand and turned it in, and it was I guess like some old lady that was her life savings, and she accidentally like donated this bag that had it in it, and so it was a happy story, and they gave her like $1,000 out of it, but it was cool.
The old lady's name was Julia Gotti.
I actually think I remember that.
Yeah, it was all over the news. It was all over Yahoo blogs and everything when it happened.
That's how old it was. It was on Yahoo blogs.
Yeah, it was on Yahoo blogs.
Yeah, you remember that it was on Yahoo blog, by the way.
Yeah.
It was something like that, but yeah, I love those stories.
I mean, everything that I find, I pretty much buy. I don't really find a lot of free stuff that's worth a lot of money or anything like that. And I don't really. I used to really shop heavily at the bins when the electronics were a lot better, and now it's a little bit tougher, definitely. But it seems like clothing is still good.
Isn't the
Isn't
the bins like all the stuff that they don't sell? It's not like fresh stuff, brand new right out of the box, or
it's a combination.
oh really?
Yeah. So there's stuff like I'll go and they'll be like bins with Goodwill tags, and that's stuff that was at Goodwill. Sometimes it doesn't even hit the Goodwill. So like all of our Goodwills, they date the tags, and some of the tags will be dated like 2 days before I buy it, which means that like they just had so much they couldn't get it on the floor.
Mhm.
And then there is the stuff that didn't sell that's there. And then there's the stuff that is just fresh. They didn't have time to go through it. It ended up in a bin. Or was it good enough to go there?
It didn't meet quality standards, or there was an overflow. So anything that goes to like the Broadway store and it's just they can't put it on the shelf, they can't process it, it just goes right to the bins right now because they have no other place for it. That's happening right now.
Yeah,
So-
that happens in Hillsborough too. So like my Goodwill outlet, I drove by like the drop-off area just like a couple days ago, and it was literally bought like what is it? Those big gray the Gaylords wrapping around with people throwing stuff into it, dropping it off. They have so much. They don't even have room to keep it inside the back warehouse anymore. Like the donations are so overflowing.
Crazy. So you're providing a very valuable service.
Yeah, taking 100 pounds at a time, I guess.
The nice thing is that our service we provide is twofold, right? Like we're taking things that would have just been put to landfills or, whatever, and then we're also reselling it to people who actually want it. So we kind of have double duty on our service, and I think that's pretty cool.
We're like this weird middle men and women.
Yeah, we totally are.
That's what the American economy is. It's like this giant middleman economy. You just have to be the best middleman you can be.
That's all we try to do, I think.
Alrighty, kids. I'm gonna end this. Everybody will just stay on for just a second after just 1 second. I want to thank everybody who came and chatted with us live in the live chat. I want to thank Chris and Kayla and Nicole. Lovely to see all of you. Thanks for participating. I really think we got in some really, really good. That was a really great discussion. That was I thank you for that. That was really awesome, both of you guys. And then Chris came in a little bit later. It was good to see you, Chris. And you have some insight shared. I'm going to stop this broadcast. Thanks, guys. Oh, do you want? You could. I mean, I don't have any subscribers, so I'm just going to stop with that.
Oh my god, I love you. This is my favorite place to hang out.
He's like, I was going to